So Kids Hub is what we call a service agency, and so basically what we do at Kids Hub is we work with a multidisciplinary team to provide services and resources for family and children in our community. And so part of our services is we do forensic interviewing and victim advocacy for children who have allegations of abuse. And so we do the Pinwheel project. We call them Pinwheels for Prevention, and so the purpose of them is to not only bring awareness to the issue of abuse in our community, but also to show the amount of children that we're serving in our community. And so our smaller Pinwheels represent one brave voice, so one child that was at Kids Hub and was able to share their story. And then our bigger Pinwheels represent children who have passed away, but again, they're not forgotten, and we're still going to honor them and just kind of give them that voice.
So we're in April, and 2018. We've already had 3 child deaths, right? So we've already had more child deaths than we did in 2017, and we were in the first 3 months of it. And so sometimes when we see the numbers rise, and they do rise, it's really discouraging because you're like, man, it's just getting worse and worse. But the reality is that might be a good thing, because statistically there's more children being abused than what's being reported, right? So although one child might be reported, there might be 5 that's not. And so if the community would pay more attention, if they start reporting, if we start being aware and taking a stand on this, we might see the numbers rise, and that's a good thing in that situation, because that means that we're actually able to help them. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and so the idea that you see a garden and think, wow, this is how many people's been abused in my area, maybe your next thought will be like, what can I do to help? Because we know that unlike cancer or other diseases, child abuse is actually preventable. And so we know that, and that's what we kind of want, obviously, for our community. And so the idea is that people will see these, they'll wonder how they can get involved, and we're the answer to that. So, but sticking a pinwheel in the ground is kind of a way of saying, you know what, I'm here for them. Like, I'm gonna take a stand against this, and I'm doing it with this child, right? So I'm sticking this pinwheel in. And so that's really kind of what makes it so special. Is so that even though you might not know our children, you might not know their faces, you might not know their stories, they are child victims, and sticking a pinwheel in means that you're there for them.
Really the most important part of them is they're just fun, and they're free, and they're just very childlike, and that just kind of represents kind of what we're doing at Kids Hub, wanting to make our children feel safe and comfortable and bring them to that friendly environment.